What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, we're going to be talking about Tyler Reddick and how I think he'll perform at 2311 Racing in 2023 and beyond. Tyler Reddick, of course, will not be returning to Rich Schultz Racing in 2023 and will drive the number 45 car for 2311 Racing on a full-time basis. Tyler Reddick is going to have a lot of pressure going into the 2023 season, but in 2022, Tyler Reddick had a pretty great season. It was very inconsistent at points, but Tyler Reddick not only got one, not two, but he picked up 3 victories in the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series season. And a lot of people believe that Tyler Reddick is going to have a lot more wins in 2023 because he has a lot of momentum, and he's also driving for 2311 Racing. 2311 Racing also had a pretty strong year in 2022 where they scored 2 victories, and Bubba Wallace had a very strong second half of the year. The other car driven by Ty Gibbs after Kurt Busch's unfortunate concussion, where he basically sat out for the rest of the 2020 season and unfortunately will not be full-time with the team in 2023. I think that team really showed their improvement and really started showing some skills near the second half of the season, and they really were starting to emerge in the second half of the season. I think with Tyler Reddick coming over to the team, I think that is going to generally work a lot of wonders for that organization for many, many reasons. I think Tyler Reddick is a generational talent. He is a driver that I think can not only win a Cup Series championship in the next couple of years, and he could be a championship threat in 2023, but I also think he is actually a future NASCAR Hall of Famer for many reasons. Reddick's already won 2 NASCAR Xfinity Series championships and a lot of races, and I do think that he's going to have multiple victories in 2023. So my expectations for Reddick is I think he's going to be an underdog for the championship. In fact, I think he's going to be about one of 9 drivers this season who I think are going to be championship threats in 2023. Because again, I think that Tyler Reddick is going to have a very good season at 2311 Racing. Now, a big question we're still kind of wondering about is his crew chief and sponsorship funding. My kind of theory is that he's going to have Billy Scott as a crew chief because Billy Scott's been the crew chief of what was the 45 and the 23, which will now switch back into 45 this season. I think Billy Scott is going to end up being the crew chief for Tyler Reddick in the 2023 season. Another big question, like I mentioned here a second ago, is going to be sponsorship and funding. My prediction is that's going to be all the sponsors he had in the 45 car. Steve Law let us basically confirm a couple days ago, I think on New Year's Eve, that a lot of sponsors that sponsor the 45 car in 2022 will likely sponsor him in 2023. So that would be including basically DoorDash, I think, sponsored that car at one point. Monster Energy, which of course will sponsor Ty Gibbs for a lot of the season. That was confirmed from Adam Stern this past couple days. We have that basically confirmed that potentially will be a sponsor. Embrace Home Loans also sponsored him. Moneyline sponsor Kurt Busch and also Ty Gibbs. And other companies that were part of it, including SiriusXM and Toyota, will probably sponsor Tyler Reddick along the way. And maybe we'll get some other sponsors sponsor Tyler Reddick, but that will have to be confirmed at a future date. But Steve Alletta kind of confirm that, which is great. He's got sponsorship and funding because he doesn't have issues on that front. Now, that team has had some pretty big personnel changes and significant changes. Of course, a lot of that crew went from basically Tyler Reddick, which was Kurt Busch last year, Kurt Busch's team over to Bubba Wallace's team. I don't think they're going to be swapping any of that out. So the pit crew is going to be staying the same and very consistent, I think, next season. Also, Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick is going to have a different environment, but I think he's going to love that environment. He's good friends with Bubba Wallace. Also, Tyler Reddick is going to be getting a lot of advice from not only Denny Hamlin, who will probably be there, as Denny is good friends with Tyler Reddick. He'll be able to get a lot of advice from Denny Hamlin, but also Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch is a champion of the sport, a future NASCAR Hall of Famer who will probably be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame in the next couple of years. And in my opinion, a first ballot NASCAR Hall of Famer will be a guy who can be a really good coach for Tyler Reddick and be someone that can really give him advice. I look at the future of 2311 Racing as well, and that team is setting itself up for a really bright future. I think going into the 2023 season, though, for Tyler Reddick, I think Tyler Reddick is going to, like I said, be a championship threat. How many wins do I think Tyler Reddick is going to get this season? I think Tyler Reddick is going to score 3 wins in 2023. I think he's going to win 3 races. I think he wins both Kansas races. I predicted that earlier this week. They get 2 wins at Kansas, that 45 streak where they won the last 2 times at Kansas. I think he wins both Kansas races, and I think he's also going to win Las Vegas. And like I said, he was really strong at RCR last year, which I think brings a lot of momentum and a lot of cards over to that team. And I think he could win more races this season. I think Reddick could potentially win as many as 10 races this year, but I'm going to be very realistic, and I think he's going to win 3 races. I don't think Tyler Reddick will make the Championship 4. I think he'll be basically really close to making it to the Championship 4 this year, because honestly, he could have made the Championship 4 in 2022 if not for a lot of mistakes from RCR and from that organization, which RCR I think is actually really going to step it up in this upcoming season. But I really think that we're going to see Reddick really step it up to the plate and still be as good as he was last year. I don't expect him to flounder. And being part of Toyota, I think he actually will be the best performing Toyota driver of every Toyota driver in the organization. That includes Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin, Mark Truex Jr., Chris Bell, and Ty Gibbs. I think Joe Gibbs Racing is going to have a little bit of issues this season. I think they're going to fall off just a little bit in their performance in 2023. And like I said, going into the season, I think Reddick will be strong. And I think this will also help Bubba Wallace out a lot as well. Bubba Wallace is a driver that I feel like really was starting to emerge in the second half of the season. I think with Reddick coming on to the team, and I think that team's showing some huge signs of improvement and making some big changes already with good sponsorship funding, backing that organization and team, I really think that you're going to see some huge improvement and some great things come out of the 23XI Racing Camp this season. So, like I said a second ago, I think Tyler Reddick is going to score multiple victories this season. I think he's going to be strong at every type of track as well. I think he's going to be good on super speedways. I think he's going to be one of the strongest on road courses. I know Toyota kind of struggled on the road courses in 2022, but I think with Reddick coming over to the team, with how good he was on the road courses, scoring 2 of his 3 victories being on road courses, I think he'll be able to help out Toyota and their road course program. He's going to be great on short tracks. He's a really good short track racer, and he's one of the best intermediate track drivers. He was strong at Auto Club last year, where he probably should have won if not for his tire going down in contact with William Byron. Among other things, he had a lot of mistakes, but I think Reddick will be someone that will be very, very strong throughout the season. And I think, like I said, he is going to be someone that I think you're going to have to watch out for throughout this whole entire 2023 season, because, like I mentioned, I think he's going to be a legitimate threat this year, and I think he's going to bring a lot to the team for this year, and I think he's going to make 23XI Racing stronger. Plus, he can get the best out of equipment, and I think RCR also over there, though, with Kyle Busch coming over to that team to be teammates at Austin Dillon, he's going to get the best out of equipment. So I think when we look at both drivers between Kyle Busch and Tyler Reddick as well, I think that both drivers are going to be very close in performance, and I think it's very close between which one's going to be better. I still think Kyle Busch is going to be better than Reddick, but barely. I think it's going to be between those two who actually gets into the Championship 4, and I think Reddick just missed the Final 4, but he's going to make the round of 8 for the first time in his NASCAR Cup Series career. And like I said, I think Reddick will have just a very good and a very strong season, because he's a driver that I think, like I said, is a future NASCAR Hall of Famer. He's going to win a lot of races. I could see him winning multiple championships as well, because, you know, he's a driver that's really proving it. He's still young, and he's been just only NASCAR for 3 years now and going his 4th season, and he's already winning a bunch of races, and he's doing a lot of big things over there. So I am genuinely really excited for Tyler Reddick coming over to that team, because he's someone that I think they really were starting to emerge. Like I said earlier, they were starting to emerge near the end of the season, and I really think going into 2023 that he's going to help that team become a much more consistent, but not only that, a much better organization. So I think that the Cup Series also is going to be really competitive next year, and 23XI just, I think, got a lot more competitive. I wouldn't be surprised if they are a top 5 team this year. I really think that there's a good chance they do become a top 5 team, or even a top 3 or 4 team, where I still think Hendrick Motorsports, Penske, and I think maybe we'll see Trackhouse be a better organization, but I wouldn't be surprised or shocked if 23XI Racing becomes a top dog. I think 23XI Racing is really setting themselves up for a bright future, and I think they're headed toward, like I said, I think they're headed toward a really bright future going into the 2023 season, and I think it's going to be huge for this team for them. And I think that there's a lot of excitement, especially if you're a Tyler Reddick fan like myself, who has become a Tyler Reddick fan. I think you're going to be watching a driver who's really showing what he's capable of, and I think that Reddick will have a very good year at 23XI Racing. So I'm excited to see what Tyler Reddick can do this year in the number 45 car, and I think that he is someone that absolutely you're going to have to watch out for throughout the season. I'm really excited to see what he can do, and like I said, I think he's going to bring a lot to the table for 23XI Racing this year, and I think he brings a lot to the table, brings a lot of the cards to the thing, and I think Tyler Reddick will be a championship threat and a contender this year in 2023. I don't think he wins a championship, makes a championship 4, but like I said, I think he will be a championship threat in 2023. So, that is it for today's special video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, as for me on Patreon as well. Links go below with that, and comment below your thoughts on today's video. What are your expectations for Tyler Reddick going into 2023? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think he'll be a champion? Do you think he'll be a championship threat? Or do you think he'll be not as good as some people think he's going to be? Let me know in the comments below. Tomorrow on my channel, I'm going to have a NASCAR news video up on the channel discussing all the news over the last couple days. And trust me, there's a lot of news to get into that we will discuss. Saturday, I'm potentially going to have an RFK preview, or I'll be talking about the my top 20 favorite NASCAR drivers in all top 3 divisions currently moment, or something along those lines. And I might have other content out on the way, maybe potentially top 10 drivers who I think could have a breakout season in 2023. There's a lot of content on the way that I think you should be excited for if you are a fan of this channel. And you got a lot to look forward to here as we get closer to the start of the NASCAR Cup Series season. So anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time for some more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.